All right, welcome everyone. Let's just dive right into it, shall we? Today, we're jumping straight into an incredibly fast-paced explainer of the 2026 MotoGP British Grand Prix Sprint Race at the legendary Silverstone circuit. We're going to strictly focus on the highlights of the sprint itself, tracking the action from the explosive start all the way to the checkered flag. Heading into this 10-lap shootout, literally the biggest question on everyone's mind was this: could the utterly dominant Aprilia squad actually pull off a historic 1-2-3-4 sweep? I mean, considering their raw speed, it was a seriously tantalizing possibility.
Section 1. Qualifying Highlights.
Now, to understand why everyone was expecting an Aprilia sweep in the first place, we just have to look at the sheer speed we saw on Saturday morning. It was frankly mind-blowing. Aprilia completely locked out the front row. Jorge Martin took pole, followed incredibly closely by Raul Fernandez and Ayo Ogura, and right behind them, you've got the Ducatis of Fabio Di Giannantonio and Marc Marquez desperately trying to keep pace. It really showcases that intense manufacturer rivalry we saw in Q2, right?
But what's really crazy about this number, 1 minute 56.160 seconds, is that Jorge Martin didn't just casually grab pole position. No, he absolutely shattered the all-time lap record at Silverstone. To put that into perspective for you, the 2025 pole was a 1 minute 57.2. Martin shaved over a full second off that time. He was literally wringing maximum performance out of that machine.
Section 2. Sprint. The light and dark of the start.
So with that incredible qualifying dominance established, the explosive start to the sprint instantly created this wild tale of light and dark for the front row Aprilia guys. Raul Fernandez was expected to be a serious contender for the win from second on the grid, but he suffered a disastrous launch. He was just quickly swallowed up by the pack, plummeting all the way down to 6th place right out of the gate. Boom! Instantly forced into survival and recovery mode.
And Fernandez later revealed the real culprit here. He said, "I feel that I had some vibrations on the moment that I released the clutch, and that, for me, was the key of the sprint." He'd actually been struggling with that clutch since the morning practice sessions. When the lights went out, severe vibrations hit the exact moment he released it, completely ruining his start and, honestly, defining his entire race right from turn 1.
Section 3. Race progression and crash.
Okay, let's map out how this thing unfolded from start to finish. After that poor start, Fernandez was on a super aggressive recovery ride. But on lap 4, disaster strikes. Entering the loop section of the circuit, he tries to aggressively set up a pass on Marco Bezzecchi and, well, ends up crashing out. Meanwhile, as the race moved into its closing stages, the remaining riders found themselves in this unexpected battle of tire survival, dealing with some severe soft rear tire graining.
Despite those mechanical clutch issues that caused the bad start, it's really worth noting Fernandez's accountability here. He took full responsibility for the crash. He admitted, "Well, the crash was 100% my mistake. I opened more the line, and I was a little bit more aggressive on the entry." Basically, he noticed Bezzecchi struggling in the left-handers, tried to prepare this aggressive move for turn 5, opened his line way too much in turn 4, and just pushed it past the limit.
Section 4. Aprilia Podium Monopoly. Now, while Fernandez's unfortunate crash firmly denied Aprilia their dream 1-2-3-4 sweep, the manufacturer still delivered an absolute masterclass at the very front of the pack. Jorge Martin cruised to victory with a time of 19 minutes and 49 seconds. He led his teammates Ayo Ogura and Marco Bezzecchi to a historic 1-2-3 podium lockout for Aprilia. I mean, what a monumental achievement for the factory.
But the crucial point at the end of this sprint wasn't actually just raw speed. It was tire management. Second-place finisher Ayo Ogura noted how shockingly fast that soft rear tire deteriorated. He said, "I think we all knew that soft rear is going to drop, but not that much. That was something unexpected, but Jorge managed the tire really well. Everyone expected a drop-off for sure, but not to that extreme level." Ogura specifically praised Martin's superior ability to manage that rear grip while still maintaining a race-winning pace.
Looking at the rest of the sprint digest behind that dominant Aprilia trio, Alex Marquez took 4th as the top Ducati. Pedro Acosta put in a really solid ride for 6th on his KTM. On the flip side, though, it was a notably tough sprint for Marc Marquez. Struggling with injuries that affected his cornering strength plus some setup issues, he really slumped down to a 9th-place finish.
Section 5. Latest point rankings.
Let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture to see how this dramatic Saturday sprint reshapes the fiercely contested championship standings, especially as we head deep into the second half of the 2026 season. Look at this. The top 5 is completely packed. Martin extends his lead at the very top, Ioba Ogura holds strong in second place, and crucially, thanks to his podium finish today, Marco Bezzecchi leapfrogs Marc Marquez to take over third place. All 5 of these riders are well within striking distance of each other.
With this sprint victory, Jorge Martin stretches his championship lead to exactly 17 points over Io Ogura. Now sure, it gives him a little bit of breathing room, but when you realize that the entire top 5 are separated by just 31 points, you start to understand that one single mistake on Sunday could literally flip the entire championship upside down.
And that brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? As the 1000cc era of MotoGP races toward its final conclusion this season, the pressure is at an absolute all-time high. With the margins this razor-thin, who do you think has the mental and physical endurance to survive this intense 5-way battle for the crown? Keep that in mind as we roll into Sunday's Grand Prix. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.